Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing IDE room on TryHackMe. So without further ado, let's get straight into the box. I'm starting off with the Rustscan instead of Nmap because Rustscan is a little bit faster than Nmap. Replacing the IP with a box IP, setting the U limit flag to 5000 for faster scanning, and appending the flags for aggressive scan, and output in normal format as Rustscan all. We can say all ports.txt. Press enter and we just see a couple of ports open here. Here we have 22, 21 and 80. 21 is for FTP, 22 SSH and 80 for HTTP web server. When I see port 21 open, I usually go for trying the anonymous login. If it is allowed or not, we can quickly check it using the FTP and IP. Press enter and just type in anonymous and press enter for password. And if anonymous login is allowed, you will be logged in. And we are logged in, and right off you'll see something unusual here. That is, we have 1 dot, 2 dot and 3 dots. Well, 3 dots is unusual here, and that is because if you create a directory, uh, 1 second, yeah, if you create a directory limit test, you go inside it and you do ls-la, you'll see 1 and 2 and not 3. Okay, so it's you can see that it's the directory D. So we'll cd into this directory, oops, this one, and we'll list out the contents, and we have another file here. It's a file because you do not see D here like this one. So it's a file uh, named dash. You can download it quickly using get command, get dash, and it will download. We exit out of the active server, and let's see what was inside the file. You cannot use this command to get dash. You'll need to use get uh, and dot slash and then dash. You'll need to provide the full path. Um, then you can see here we have a text message that says, "Hey John, I have reset the password as you have asked. Please use the default password to log in." Okay, so let's quickly note this down. So we have a username John, and as per the note, we can see that his password is the default password. So we know that his password is default password. That's a crucial information. And there's another username, drac. We'll note that down to say drac. Okay. Now moving on from FTP server to HTTP, we have our nmap scan finished. You can see anonymous FTP login allowed. We have already looked into it. We have SSH. We do not have any passwords. Well, we can try logging in. We can try brute forcing, but that will take a lot of time. Instead, I will go over to HTTP, that is 2.4.29, and we have two HTTP servers here, both of the same version. We can quickly check if this Apache version is uh, vulnerable to anything. Apache 2.4.29, and looks like we do not have anything here. We have a couple of versions, but not 2.4.29. Alright, we have one, but it's of a local privilege escalation. You can use this once you are inside the Apache web server, but we are not inside the Apache web server. So we'll not take a look at that. Let's quickly browse over to port 80. Uh, oops. Yeah, we have Apache 2 default Ubuntu page here. Nothing interesting. You can quickly see the page source, and you will not see anything interesting here. Just the default content. You can try appending robots.txt file, and it says not found. Okay, you can see the webalizer. What does it say? It says Apache and Ubuntu. Okay, so we can try GoBuster. GoBuster dir for directory brute forcing, then dash u is for URL and dash w for word list. I'm using directory list 2.3 medium text file, and I have dash x to specify the extensions to search for. I have appended PHP, HTML, and text file. So this GoBuster will go on searching for uh, every directory that ends with PHP, HTML, and txt with the help of this word list. Then I have appended the st 100 threads here. Okay, so let's enter and let this run. Till then, we'll take a look at the other web server 62337, and you can see here is this HTTP title Codiad 2.8.4. So let's open this in our browser. You'll see Codiad 2.8.4 and we have username and password. So if you go back to our notes, you'll see that we already have a couple of useful information. That is, John's password is a default password. So we know that the username is John and the password is a default password. So searching for the Codiad 2.8.4 default password, maybe we can get some hint. So let's try Codiad 2.8.4 default password. And we have, it says Codiad password, application password, default bitnami, if I am correct. Well, that's a Docker image. And moving on, we should well, this is about the Docker image. Let's try the bitnami password, bitnami. It says incorrect password. So this is not the default password. It's something else. Uh, Also, we can try some default password that we try every time, like admin password. So using John and password as default password admin, we are just guessing it. It says wrong password. We can try default password as password, simple, and it grants us in. Okay, so it was a little bit of guesswork because usually the password is a default password every time. Okay, so we are in the application now. When I searched for 2.8.4 default password, I saw some links that were remote code execution authenticated 3. So looks like we are authenticated, and this remote exploit should work. So we can quickly search the exploit. Let me turn off this GoBuster thing. We don't need that anymore, I guess. Okay, so I do search exploit and Codiad 2.8.4. You'll see that I have, oops, yeah, I have 3 exploits here. So I'm going to try out the first one. I locate this. I have the Python file here. I say Python 3. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, Python 3. Okay, so we have the usage here. It is to enter the URL, username, password, IP port, and platform. Well, you can try doing that. You can just go on and provide the URL, username, password, the arguments it is asking for. But if you are interested and curious, you should also see the source code of this Python file, just so you know what it is doing. What the heck is Python file doing? So we have uh, once a minute. Yeah, so you know that it's going for the components user controller action authenticate to login. We have username password. Okay, it's a function. Okay, so if we are logged in, it will say login content to success, and it will get the writable path, the path the application can the path we can write into. So it will go to component project controller PHP file, and action equals to get current. So I guess get current is outputting the uh, current working directory, maybe. uh, okay, so here is our reverse shell. It will bin bash dash c sh dash I and host port. Okay, so please execute the following command and VPS. So we have a idea of what it's doing. So let's just try out this exploit pretty fast. We append the URL here. The username is John. Password is password. IP is this. Wait, it's like asking for a local IP, I guess. Yeah. So you need to provide the TryHackMe IP here. Mine is this, and I'll use the port 1234, and platform is Linux, because to check out the OS, you can quickly use ping command. I usually use the ping command to test out the OS it's using. I use ping and then the IP. And if you see TTL, that is time to live, 60 or 61, then it's usually Windows. Otherwise, if you see it greater than I guess 100 or 200, then it's usually Windows. Yep. So we know it's a Linux box. Also, it's using Ubuntu. Okay, as per our nmap scan. Here it says OS, Unix, Linux. So we know that it's Linux. Okay, so I'll say Linux. Let me open the reverse shell here. Sorry, netcat listener. I press enter. Oops, uh, the heck I did. Uh, oh god. I prefer the nano command, I guess. Yeah, I did. That's Python 3. Oops, I'm sorry. Looks like I can type. Yeah. So it says please execute the following commands on your VPS, and that is echo this, and then c-lvnp. We copy this, we press enter, and then it says execute this one also. So instead of using the 1234, we are using 1235. We are using 1234, but here. So if I press Y, then yeah, we quickly get back our reversal. So if you know, we used two shell to get back a reverse shell, and that is because let me show you something quickly. 1 minute. Yep. So if I open netcat listener 1234 and I do this, yeah, 1234, press enter, and I'm not going to enter this command. I'm just going to press Y, and we get back a connection. But you know, we cannot type anything here. Most probably it died, maybe. Uh, so if just a minute. Yeah, so I'll create a file named commands, and that will contain my command that I want to execute in the server. So I'll say ping dash c1 and my IP. So it will ping my machine one time. Dash c specify the packets that I want to send. So I'll save that into commands file. All right. So let me open the TCP dump. So if anyone does ping me, I'll know it. And I'll open 1, 2, 3, 4 and commands. So whatever is inside the commands file will be thrown into the session that is received from the machine that we are going to exploit right now. So I press Y and I get a connection back, and my command also executed. So you can execute a couple of commands at once, but you cannot execute it afterwards. So you need to parse the commands in a way. So that is what our main exploit file is doing. It's executing uh, another reverse shell to get back a full TTY shell that we can execute commands on. So I'll do that manually. I'll exe I will paste the reverse shell here. So let me go over to reverse shell cheat sheet and I'll copy this one and say 1235 because on 1234 we already have our session created. So 10.17.1.53. Well, let's say it to be 9001 just for fun. Okay, it'll be save it and I'll open another netcat listener port 9001, clear this out and this. So we should get back a shell this time, and we do. Yeah. So this is what our main exploit was doing. So I hope you understood this. Now, so okay, so we have a shell on the machine. Now let's quickly see what users we have on this machine. So you can do cat, cd home, and we have drac. We go inside this folder, and usually you'll go for the user.txt file, but you see that you cannot read it because it's only readable by the drac user. If you try to read it, you won't be able to. Another interesting thing here you'll see is that the bash history file is readable. So you can read it. So let's say cat bash history, and you'll see that it says mysql-u drac -p and the password. So it looks like the drag user tried to log into the MySQL session, but he forgot to delete the bash history file. Usually this command won't work because of the security reasons. So if I try to use mysql-u root and -p any password, I guess password, it will ask for password anyway. And why it asks for password? Because MySQL prefers not to uh, input the password here because that can go into the bash history file, and if an attacker gets access to your machine, then he can quickly see the bash history file just like we did and get the password. So usually you need to do mysql-u root then -p and then enter the password, so it won't be saved to the bash history file. Okay, so uh, let me copy this password, and if you notice, then we don't have any MySQL installed on this machine. We can also see the internal services that are running on this machine. We do not see MySQL. MySQL is usually on 3306 port, and we do not have any that port open. So at this stage, we have password and we have a user. So we can try logging into drac. We can try to log in to drac with SSH. So I'll say SSH. Oops. Ah, drac at the rate uh, IP. Paste the password. Let me copy this password quickly. Yeah. Okay, so we are in. Perfect. So First off, usually see is the commands we can execute as root or the groups we are in. So if you say groups, then we are in drac, cd-rom, sudo, dip, and plug dep. Nothing unusual. And let's quickly check for the commands we can execute as root. Sudo -l, and you can see that we can execute vsftpd restart service. Okay, so what this command does is it usually restarts the service of FTP. So we can restart the FTP server. If you Google around a little bit, like uh, let's just Google this command, service vsftpd restart. Like, how does it work? You will notice that it uses a service file. So the service binary uses a service command. Sorry, yeah. So the service command uses a file named dot service that tells it what to do when you have hit restart, start, or stop, anything like that. So you can quickly find that service file using find slash dash name. I'll say star for every file that ends with dot service, and I'll say output every error into the dev null, so you do not see any errors pop up on the output screen. So we have a lot of service files here. The service file we are interested in is this one, vsftpd. Oops. Uh, where was it? Hmm, it was vsftpd. Yeah, this one. System slice vsftpd service. Many more. Yeah, we have tons of lib systemd vsftpd service. There are many files. Okay. So we are looking for the vsftpd.service file. So I'll say vsftpd.service, and we have a couple of results here. Okay, so the one you need is this one, is lib system, this one. So if you go inside this directory, you'll see a lot of service files here. And if you notice that vsftpd.service file is writable, you can write it. The track user can write it. So uh, let's quickly open that up with nano text editor, and you'll see that if someone executes this service file, then it will use this binary and with the configuration file to start the FTP server. So we can quickly change this to take advantage of this. We'll say that copy we can either copy the bash binary to temporary and give it suid permission, so we as drac user can execute it to get the root shell, or you can paste the famous reverse shell here, to get the root shell back. So we're gonna do that. uh, I'll paste it here. I'll say port to be 1234 10.17.1.253. And also notice that you have to provide the full path to the binary. So instead of saying bash, you'll need to say bin bash dash I. Okay, uh, I guess this should work. So I exit out of this, and I'll execute this as sudo. Before that, I'll have to open the reverse shell. Sorry, reverse netcat listener. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press sudo this, and you'll see that it says run systemctl daemon reload to reload the units. So systemctl daemon reload is to it actually we have changed the file. So these changes have not been saved to the daemon. So in order to save them, we need to reload the daemon. So we'll do systemctl daemon reload. It's asking for the password, and uh, oops, the password is this. The authentication complete. Now executing the vsftpd command, we get nothing back, and that is because we need to do some changes for that. Instead of saying bin bash dash I, I'll say bin bash. I'll append something here that is bin bash dash C, and then put this in inverted commas, exit out of this, and again systemctl daemon reload, paste the password, execute the command as sudo, and we get a reverse shell back. So bin bash dash I did not work, but bin bash dash C and then uh, our reverse payload, that thing worked. So if you quickly search that command dash, if you quickly search that dash C flag in man page of bash, you'll see, oops, you'll see that uh, I forgot what dash C did. Yeah, so if the F dash C option is present, then commands are read from the first non-option argument command string. I'm not sure what does dash C do, uh, but I have a practice of doing bin bash dash C when a reverse shell does not work. That's my habit. I'll need to do some more research in order to know what is bin bash dash C doing. Uh, so if you know what does bin bash dash C do, then please let me know in the comment section. Uh, yeah, sorry, but I'm not sure. So we have a reverse shell here. We are root in this machine. So yeah, you have won the world. That was it for today. Thank you for watching.